YouTube is having an authenticity crisis. Vloggers all over debate about what is real and how truthful YouTube is or should be. Lonely Girl 15 was a popular vlogger thought to be exactly what her name implied, a lonely girl reaching out to the YouTube community. When it was found to be scripted, the show received a violent backlash from the YouTube community looking for truth and honesty in mass overproduced consumer culture. Cinema Verite's all-encompassing camera stylo has been linked to YouTube, and much of the user-generated content that is seen on YouTube shares Cinema Verite's impression of spontaneity and honesty, whether or not such impressions are accurate. Unsteadicam is a technique that I use in some of my films that harks back to the conventions of Cinema Verite. By obviously displaying the material of the work's production, YouTube creates a Brechtian alienation effect that paradoxically reminds the viewer of their watching of a constructed media document and aligns YouTube with a straightforward record of real life. However, these attempts at truthfulness become very problematic if we look at the context of performativity and impersonation in everyday life. Take, for example, the work of Baby Britney. As the name suggests, Baby Britney is a repossessed and personalized version of the pop star. If a fan like Chris Crocker and an impersonator like Derek Barry had a baby, that baby would be Baby Britney. She re-sings the Britney classics in her bedroom, which happens to be plastered with pictures of the real Britney, if such a term can be applied to Britney at all. The resemblance is uncanny, and Britney has clearly affected Baby's self-representation, with the tan and platinum blonde locks, hallmarks of Britney's early style. Baby is fan simulacra. The background of glossy magazine images of Britney Spears serves to foreground the observation that this is not the real Britney, as in the Britney born on the 2nd of December 1981 in Mississippi, but is another, alternate, perhaps equally real essence of Britney. The true celebrity is a one-of-a-kind that anyone can become. The multiple Britneys, both Baby and otherwise, seen in the videos of Baby Britney ironically mimic the large-scale pop concerts in which a celebrity is presented in their physical form and is surrounded by large projected images of that particular celebrity. In such a way, Baby Britney is both truth and fantasy, appropriate to the decentered and fractured self that is common on social media sharing sites. My work can be seen in a similar vein, although perhaps the elements of truth and fantasy are a little more pronounced. There are obvious prop-like palm trees around the room, appropriated from the musical video Paradise trope, but everything else forming the mise-en-scene reflects my real life, and the palm trees have become a part of that. Similarly, my Can You Tell Me Who I Am vlog series draws on the perceived honesty of YouTube and combines it with the fans' characteristic utilization of a celebrity in formulating their own subjectivity. In Can You Tell Me Who I am performing celebrity autobiographies and interviews as if they were my own. The title simultaneously refers to a playful game between me and the viewer, where they have to seek for clues in the text to find the celebrity that I impersonate, and on the other is quite a serious plea directed at celebrities. We as consumers relate to celebrities as commodified identities that we can appropriate to express ourselves to others and to form social connections. YouTubers like Baby Britney are continually addressing the complexities of identifying and representing the self in our highly mediated society. The linking between truth and fantasy can be seen in the conceptualization of the internet itself, and is referred to several times in my work through motifs appropriated from science fiction. As David Horner states, much of the literature on virtuality and its radical implications has its origins and reliance in science fiction and fantasy. The term cyberspace itself originates in the novel Neuromancer, and the self-reflective popularity of the Matrix series online indicates its relevance to the cyber world and its influence on the development of popular online collaborative sites such as Second Life. We have seen science overtake science fiction before, both in the advent of nuclear power and in the moon landing. But when mechanization directly enters the domestic sphere, it profoundly changes our experience and our sense of being. In YouTube, we have technology that is awe-inspiring both in its scope and its magnitude. And YouTube, as we know it, is only 4 years old. And yet it has become a normalized part of people's everyday life because of its grounding in the domestic sphere. So we have amazing technological developments that were previously the stuff of science fiction, combined with the banality of our everyday life. And it is because of this combination between a globally accessible online network and the home that our notions of public and private accordingly have to shift.